So, deep beneath the Egyptian sands, there are two massive, hidden resources that could completely reshape the country's future. And no, we're not talking about ancient history here. This is all about a huge, high-tech plan to unlock a whole new era of prosperity. Let's dig in.
So what's the key to this whole transformation? Well, it's this number right here, $17 billion. And this is way more than just a big investment. It's a historic partnership between China and Egypt, actually the biggest of its kind in the entire region. And it's all aimed at forging a new economic destiny.
Okay, so how exactly is this enormous investment going to be used? Well, it's not for just one single project. Think of it more like a two-pronged strategy. You've got two powerful engines, both working at the same time to push Egypt toward a brand new industrial and agricultural future.
And here's the breakdown of that two-part strategy. On one side, you've got a $10 billion bet on mining and fertilizers, with the goal of turning Egypt into a global powerhouse. And on the other side, a $7 billion push to turn the desert into farmland and secure the nation's food supply. So two very different goals, but they're part of one unified vision. All right, let's start with that industrial pillar. This is the plan to transform Egypt from a country that just exports raw materials into a true giant in fertilizer manufacturing.
So here's the thing you have to understand. Egypt is sitting on the world's third largest reserves of phosphate. We're talking nearly 3 billion tons of the stuff. For years, they just dug it up and sold it cheap. But this new plan, it's to build a massive industrial complex to process all of it right there in Egypt to capture its full value. They're even pioneering green fertilizers using clean energy. It's a total game changer, a complete strategic shift.
Now, the other half of this grand plan is an equally huge agricultural project. The goal here is to cultivate 1 million new acres of desert. The idea is to turn all that barren sand into fertile fields for crucial crops like wheat, corn, and soybeans. This is all about boosting national food security and cutting down the country's massive import bill.
Which, of course, brings us to the billion-dollar question. Or, I guess in this case, the $7 billion question. I mean, farming 1 million new acres needs a colossal amount of water. And in one of the driest places on Earth, where on earth do you get it from? The answer to that is the real secret ingredient to this entire story.
The answer isn't on the surface. It's not the Nile. It's hidden deep, deep beneath the sands of the Western Desert. It's a resource so incredibly vast, it's actually been called Egypt's other great river. It's called the Nubian Sandstone Aquifer System. And this isn't just any old underground water source. It is the largest known fossil water aquifer in the entire world, a massive underground sea of ancient fresh water that's shared by 4 different nations. You know, the scientists who've studied this thing using satellite radar technology, they don't just call it an aquifer. They describe it as a vast, ancient underground river system, a true buried treasure that has been completely hidden for thousands of years. To really get your head around the incredible scale of what we're talking about, we have to look at the numbers. The total estimated volume of water just sitting in this aquifer is a staggering 150,000 cubic kilometers.
And this really puts it into perspective. The entire annual flow of the River Nile is about 55 cubic kilometers. The water in the Nubian aquifer is thousands of times greater than that. It's an almost incomprehensible amount of water just waiting there. But there's a catch. This is what's known as fossil water. It's ancient rainfall that got trapped underground thousands of years ago. It's a finite resource. It isn't being replenished. And because it's shared with neighboring countries, there's a real sense of urgency here. This isn't just an opportunity. It's a race against time. You know, the Egyptian space scientist Dr. Iman Ghanemim, who was one of the pioneers who mapped this system, she puts it so clearly, it's all one reservoir. And with neighbors like Libya already tapping this aquifer for decades with their own massive Great Man-Made River project, the clock is absolutely ticking for Egypt to start using its share. For years, scientists like Dr. Farouk El-Baz have been pushing to tap this resource. They've shown that not only is the water vast, but in many areas, it's surprisingly shallow and easy to get to. And, get this, there's another buried treasure down there. The same geological formations that hold the water are also rich in oil and gas. Okay, so let's connect all the dots. We've got phosphate mines up in the highlands, and we've got a buried river flowing beneath the desert. The real genius of this plan is how it brings these two incredible resources together. So the whole national strategy really boils down to the simple 2-step process.
First, you tap the buried treasure of phosphate to power an industrial revolution. Then you use the water from the buried river to fuel an agricultural one. It's designed to be a self-reinforcing cycle, perfect for a modern, self-sufficient economy.
I mean, this plan is absolutely monumental, leveraging resources that have been hidden for literally eons. If it's successful, it could completely redefine Egypt's place in the world. So, the ultimate question is, are these two buried treasures truly the key to unlocking its 21st century potential?